私一人の方が相手も口が軽くなるでしょう。
確かにそうかもしれませんけど、あ、じゃあ10分に1回安全確認の電話を入れます。
いえ、それも遠慮してもらいます。
へえ。
What am I trying to say here? I guess she's got a bit of a bigger role to play besides just well, disguising herself. It's just disguising herself. Just disguising herself as either a hostess or a reporter, right? I think it was a reporter in the last game. First, I'll need to find some arcane members. Unlike Yakuza, they're hard to identify by appearance alone. But no worries, in times like these, it's good to know the owner of Tender. He's well connected. The gossiping bartender? This is Bartender, the first place Yagami-san worked at when he arrived in the city. The owner always has his ear to the ground. I'm sure I could ask him where I might meet some arcane members. Just had the jump cut over here then. Jump cut. It's almost just cut in front of the bar. But look who's still here.
ようこそいらっしゃい、沙織ちゃん。嬉しいね、来てくれて。
お邪魔します。
まあ、
こんにちは。ターボーと仲良しの先生よね。あの子は今日一緒じゃないの？
ええ。
そう。じゃあ遠慮なくガールズトークできちゃうね。
なんだいマリネ。それじゃ俺がお邪魔みたいになるじゃないの。
ああ、マスターは乙女心分かってくれるから許してあげる。
The two of them sure can keep up with each other. But if I'm going to ask questions, I better order a drink.
何飲むか迷ってんでしょ？いいよ。内緒でターボーが入れてるボトル飲んじゃいな。あいつ最近ツケが溜まってるし。
ありがとうございます。そういうわけで RK の人たちと会えないかマスターに聞いてみようと思ってきたんです。
あちゃー、やっぱり仕事の用事だったか。でも沙織ちゃん、美味しそうにお酒飲んでくれるよね。
ほんと、なんだかかっこいい。
そんなお二人に言われると恐縮しちゃいます。
マリネーと美人が二人並んでるとなんかこう年がいもなくウキウキしてくるね。
あら、ほんとだ。今日マスターいつもより12ヶ月は若く見える。
それじゃいつもと変わんないじゃないの。
だってマスターがそれ以上若くなったらかっこよすぎちゃうじゃない？
ああ、本当ですね。
Oh no, this isn't good. I'm getting so relaxed. I might forget about work.
いや、しかし RK に会いたいと来たか。実はそこら中にいることはいるんだけどさ、彼らも仇から RK ですかと聞かれて、はいそうですとは言わないんだ。
そうね。しかも沙織ちゃん、彼らから結構ディープな話を聞かなきゃいけないみたいだし、そうなるとちょっとだけ難しいかも。
ちょっとだけですか。
沙織ちゃんほどの美人が街を歩けば RK から近づいてくるよ。ただその格好だと硬すぎちゃうから、少し隙のある服とかメイクにするといいかな。
なるほど、そりゃあいい考えだ。
隙のある服とメイク。
ターボーから聞いてるよ。沙織ちゃんがその気になったらカムロ町のキャバ嬢たちも顔負けだって。それで前から興味があったの。
脳ある鷹は爪を隠すだね。
キャバ嬢みたいな格好をするということですか？これからすぐに？
まあ他の手もなくはないだろうけど、RK には効きそうな作戦だ。
よかったら私が見繕ってあげるから、沙織ちゃんはその中から気に入った服とかを選んだらいいわよ。
わかりました。じゃあ お言葉に甘えてお手数ですがお願いします。
オッケー、任せといて。
Can I get another makeover? No, yep. Jeez.
なるほど。これはターボーから聞いてた通りというか、それ以上ね。
マリさんの前でこんな格好、なんだか恥ずかしいです。
何言ってるの。本当に綺麗。
いや、そんな。
本当に大丈夫だってば。まだ何か足りないみたいね。
え？
最後に必要なのはプライドよ。私は綺麗だっていうプライド。
でも私、そういうのは。
じゃあ弁護士としてのプライドは？それはあるでしょ？
弁護士としての。
オッケー、バッチリ。ほら見てみて。男たちもみんなほっとけないって顔してるよ。
こんな気分久しぶりです。ありがとう、マリさん。
RK の連中に会いたいんだよね。それだったら私と一緒にスカウトされに行く？
スカウト？
RK はガールズバーとかキャバで働いてくれそうな子を見るとすぐ寄ってくるの。特に多いのはそこの占領通りね。二人で歩いてみようか。
いいんですか？そこまで付き合ってもらっちゃって。
私も沙織ちゃんのメイクがどれくらい効果あるか見たいし。いいの。こちらこそ迷惑じゃなければ付き合わせて。
Okay. Time to walk down Sanrio Avenue. If any PK guys... PK, God. To try that again. Time to walk down Sanrio Avenue. If any arcade guys approach us, we'll reel them in. Then I can ask them about Shinya Kawaii and see what they found out so far. I get to walk around like this. So it's back in the, it's just... It's back to being made up. Did I even use that correctly? Made up. It's either made up or just, dolled up. It's back to being dolled up. For Saori. I thought she would have had to have done a whole lot more than just getting dolled up. It's back to this again. I guess according to her, she doesn't do this a whole lot. Just kind of weird because I guess she is with, what's his face? Well, she's just with that guy.
いやちょっとごめん。お姉さんたちかっこいいね。
今日はどこか飲み行く感じ？それともこの辺の店で働いてるとか？
女二人寂しく飲み歩いてるとこ。ねえ。ねえ。
だったら俺におごらせてくんない？いい店知ってんだ。いくらでも飲ましてあげるよ。
うわ、すごい羽振りいいんだ。でも私たちめっちゃ飲んじゃうよ。大丈夫？
ダチがやってる店があるんだよ。そいつもお姉さんたち連れてったら喜ぶと思うし。
Okay. If they're okay, then it might be good to take them up on the offer. But how can I know for sure? Well, at least I do remember that guy that they're talking to. Oh, and you got some responses. You're just my type. You're with Arcade, right? I get wild tonight. Let's see. Just time to find out whether these people are Arcade or not. Well, should I just be direct and say, you're with Arcade, right? Nothing wrong with being direct.
ところで、あなた方は RK ですね。
あ？何のことだ？
お姉さんたち何？どういう人なの？
Ouch. Excuse me. Ouch, that was too obvious. But then how should I have asked him instead? Guess I forgot these guys want to be secretive.
そんな怖い顔しないで。だってもうみんな知ってますよ。今この町はほとんど RK のものだって。イケてる組織にいる人たちってなんていうか風格とか貫禄みたいなのがあるのよね。
うん。まあそうかもな。
一応さ、俺らも世間の流れを見極めて動いてるみたいな。そういうのって運だけじゃなくて頭も切れなきゃじゃん。お姉さんたちも男選ぶなら俺らみたいな世渡りのうめえのがいいと思うよ。
Nice, Marty son. You've got them wrapped around your finger.
ほんとかっこいいね。RK の人たちって。
ええ、お兄さんたちはやっぱり RK でも上の人だったりするんですか？
まあ大きな声で言わねえけど RK の中でもちょっと知られてるもんでね、俺ら。
少なくとも俺らなくしては今の RK にはなってないよな。俺もここまででかくなるとは思ってなかったさ。
Okay. Looks like this went well. I knew they had to be arcane members. Now all I have to do is ask them about Shinya Kawai. Why were they looking for him?
カムロ町って今みんな RK が仕切ってるんでしょ？
まあね、ヤクザが幅利かす時代は終わったからよ。もう仁義とか極道の伝説とかも通用しねえ。これからはいかにルールのねえアンダーグラウンドで戦えるかがものを言う。
壮絶な世界、かっこいい。
そういえばこの間 RK の人たちで誰か探してたみたいだけど、何年か前に姿を消したとかっていう。
ああ、あれね。あん時探してたのはガールズバーのマネージャーだった男だな。
さすがお兄さんたちは情報通なのね。
5年前にある日突然姿を消したってやつだ。カムロ町じゃ珍しくもねえ話だけどね。
何それ面白そう。結局その人は見つかったの？
いや、さすがにダメだった。そいつは河合って男で、この町じゃ毒にも薬にもならねえ小物だ。それがある晩昔の知り合いらしいのに囲まれてたんだってさ。多分過去によその町でトラブってたんだろう。そんで押し問答した後、最後には無理やりバンに乗せられてった。以来奴は姿を消したままだ。
それってつまりどういうこと？
どっかよそで殺されたんだ。河合が生きてりゃ町に戻ってきてるはずだ。店からの給料もまだもらってねえ分があったらしいからな。ってことは今頃海の底か山の中にでも埋められたんだろうってことになった。
その河合の昔の知り合いたちって誰だったの？
さあね、10人近くいたみたいだ。見た目は堅気の若いやつらで女も混じってたんだと。でももう5年も前のことだからな。
A group of civilians shoved Kawai into a van, and they were old acquaintances? Could they have been classmates from Kurokawa Academy? No, I'm just rushing to conclusions.
その目撃談があるということは、誰か河合信也がバンに押し込まれるところを見てたということですよね。5年前に。
そう、見てたのは河合が働いてたガールズバーの子だ。まあ俺らはその子に話を聞いたってやつからまた聞きしただけだけど。
そのお店の場所は？
カムロ町で5年も前のガールズバーだぜ。もうどこにあったかなんてわかんねえよ。その間に何百件も潰れちゃ新しくできてんだからよ。
じゃあそもそも誰が今になって河合を探そうとしたんです？ RK はその誰かから人探しを依頼されたわけですよね。
そいつはもうちょい上に聞かなきゃわかんないんだけどさ。それよりちょっと待った。 こっちからも一つ聞いていい？
はい。
さっき沙織ちゃん可愛いシーンやって言ってたけど、なんであいつのフルネーム知ってんの？俺ら言わなかったはずだけど。
なんだと？
もしかして最初から河合のことを聞きたくて俺らと話してたわけ？何もね。
何をするんです？
その手を離して。
誰なんだお前。
Okay. They're starting to suspect me. This isn't good. What should I call myself? Jeez, just go with Arcade Fangirl.
通りすがりの RK ファンです。全然怪しいものじゃないんだから。やめてよ。
え？そうだな。全然怪しくない。
バカ、気を確かに持て。めちゃめちゃ怪しいよ。
くそ、色仕掛けが通用する俺じゃねえぞ。誰なんだお前。
Contact mark. And if I go with the truth right here, that she's an attorney at law, I mean, what are they gonna do? Maybe I don't know your name?
お前らに名乗る名はない。この手を離せ。この私に暴力や脅しは通じない。
なんだ急に本性出してきたじゃねえか。ならこの手はなんだ震えてるじゃね
武者震いってやつだよ。
そんな男たぶらかすような格好して言うよね、沙織ちゃん。
ああ、ざけんじゃねえぞ姉ちゃん。
沙織ちゃん。
あれ？目障りだぞ、チンピラ。
東さん。
てめえ！
たく、たちの悪いチンピラが増えたもんだ。礼なんていらねえ。この街歩くときは気をつけな。特に美人。
ありがとうございます、東さん。
だから礼なんて。なんで俺の名前を。
白崎です。源田法律事務所の。お久しぶりです。
嘘だーいや、これは気がつきませんで、白崎先生。しかしすげえっすね。見違えましたよ。
Charles Arcade Manager Toru Higashi.
ありがとうございました、東さん。私はともかくマリさんを危ない目に遭わせるところでした。本当に助かりました。
若くて強くてかっこいい。私タイプかも。
さっきのやつらは RK ですね。最近街中で調子づいてるんですよ。
Okay. Toru Higashi's son, former Matsugami family member of the Tojo clan. He's like a brother to Kaito's son, and he knows Yagami's son too. He runs his arcade full time now, but apparently he still keeps up with his excuse me, trying again. But apparently he still keeps up with Yakuza fashion trends.
よかったら安全なとこまでお送りしますよ。いや何、俺も最近は暇してるもんだ。
あら、そうなんですか。ちょうどいいですね。暇な者同士、今夜は楽しく過ごしません？
じゃあその前に八神さんに電話を入れさせてください。
Shinya Kawai was a bully 13 years ago. He vanished from Kamurocho when he was abducted by a group in a van. It seems like they were all people he knew, and it's possible they were his classmates from Kurokama Academy. I feel like I need to try that again. And it's possible they were his classmates from Kurokama Academy.
八神の野郎、何してんですかね。白崎先生の電話には通行類内に出ろってんですよ。
出ません。おかしいですね。もう一度かけてみます。
Something must have happened elsewhere.
ああ、でもこうしてみると最近似たような話を聞いたよな。今度の河合も三越場と同じ過去にいじめ加害者だったやつだ。それが2人とも殺された。
どうでしょう。カムロ町では
何らかのトラブルで姿を消す人が少なくありません。理由は大体金か女か。河合もそんなケースの一人なのでは。
確かにね。
河合の件はこちらでもう少し調べてみます。RK が聞き回ったおかげで街の情報もまだホットなはずですから。
ああ、よろしく。
Now I guess I wait for Sawa Sensei. Still a lot of time before the faculty meeting ends. Okay, so we're continuing from where, well, he last left off. Huh, it's a message, excuse me, try it again. Huh, it's a message from Amasawa. Yakami-san, one of my underclassmen wants to talk to you. Try it again. Yakami-san, one of my underclassmen wants to talk to you. Could you come to the club room again after class if it's not too much trouble? No problem. Amasawa wants to talk about her lower classmen. I've got time, so I might as well go see what that's all about. Oh yeah, there might be some new jobs over at Tsukumo's office too. It's still a bit before the faculty meeting ends. I should, just try it again. I should kill time elsewhere. Okay, so I got my options. This one's the closest. It's a little girl looking at a squirrel drawing on a wall. Huh. What's a little girl... excuse me. Try it again. What's a little girl doing out here by herself? Hope she's alright. Hey, is everything okay? Are you looking for something? Oh, no. I was just looking at this squirrel. Adorable, isn't it?
Hmm?
What squirrel? That squirrel. Squirrels just want to have fun. Okay, anytime you see a squirrel painted around town, slip into observation mode and examine it. If you copy what it's doing, you may just find a hidden treasure. A hidden treasure. Great. So I need to copy its pose. Oh, it looks like it's listening to something. Oh, would you look at that? There is a squirrel. That's some pretty nice street art. Why a squirrel, though? Is this supposed to represent something? Yakami-san, well, this is unexpected. What are you doing out here?
Hmm?
Is it Amasawa? Huh? Oh, yeah.
Amasawa.
Amasawa? Oh, hey. I was just looking at some street art. Do you know what this is from? It's too good to be random graffiti. How peculiar. I feel like I know this from somewhere. Maybe a famous graffiti artist did it? That's not it. I think I remember this from, excuse me, I remember this from childhood. The squirrel, right? That's it. It's from a picture book I used to read all the time.
Hmm?
A picture book? Yes. It featured all these forest critters doing different poses, and as a kid, you were supposed to imitate them. So if you copied the squirrel performing a greeting or lying down for a nap, you'd be learning good behaviors along the way. And if you did them well, you'd get a reward like an acorn, at least according to the book. I see. So it was, excuse me. So it was like an try it again. So it was like an educational tool. But why would something from a children's book be painted out here? That's the big question, isn't it? Do you think we'd get rewarded if we copied the squirrel right here? That's a cute idea. Let's pretend we're in my picture book and find out. So, what's this squirrel up to? Let me think. Oh, listening carefully, right? Got one hand close to its ear, and then you see like some lines coming out that are supposed to represent sound. Guess listening carefully. Maybe it's listening intently? That could be. It does look like it's trying to hear something. And if we stand still, excuse me. Then if we stand still and stay quiet, will we get a reward? At the very least, we can try and find out. Yeah, I'm not hearing a thing. Well, duh. We're playing make-believe, you know. Actually, I think I did hear something. Really? Wonder what? Might as well play along here and I've got just the thing to amp up my hearing. Oh, the device. Let's see. Noise amp. Guess the sound of the train? Sound of the train, maybe? I don't know. Oh, wait.
ここだな。
Probably hearing squeaky noises. Squirrel. That sound's coming from here. Or the sound's coming from here. Superstitious Eater's Guide. The skill Auspicious Gourmet has been unlocked. Learn how to use it from the skill apps in the pause menu. 1 out of 56. Wow. A reward at the source of the sound. Hey, what's that listening device you got there? Did it lead you anywhere? Yeah. After turning it on, I heard a faint noise, and when excuse me, and and when I went to check it out, I found this. Wow. So the squirrel was hiding a treasure. I guess so. By the way, there are more squirrels than just this one, and they're doing all sorts of things. Excuse me, and they're doing all sorts of different things. Really? Yup. There's one on the wall. Excuse me. There's one on the wall of that store over there. Oh, I never noticed. Or if I did, I dismissed it as some juvenile attempt at self-expression. Could this possibly be a new mystery? I suppose you could consider it a mystery, in the broadest possible sense. Mystery or not, it might be fun to keep a lookout for these squirrels. Okay, just the optional collectibles, just the optional things. Of course. Red pads. Okay, this has got my brain firing on all cylinders. I gotta go home and find that picture book.
Oh.
You do that. In the meantime, I'll see what I can find out on my end. Okay, great. See you later. Looks like she took off. Yep. When she sets her... excuse me, let me try it again. Once she sets her sights on something, there's really no stopping her. Maybe I should do the same and find some more squirrels. Or find more squirrels. My name's Futaba. Futaba-san... try to pronounce this correctly. Sayonji. Thanks for your help today. Well, aren't you polite? My name's Takayuki Agami. Nice meeting you, Takayuki-san. Bye-bye for now. Wait, was this the way to the other squirrel? Or, let me try it again. Was this the way to that other squirrel? I need to work on my directions. Watch out for cars, okay? Alright. Guess I'm looking for squirrels from now on. No need to go nuts over it, of course. Okay. Got that done. Yagami-san, thank you for coming.
Amasawa.
Hey, Amasawa. What is it you want? Try it again. What is it you wanted to ask me? Well, it's a rather long story. Is this a good time? Let's hear what she has to say. Okay, once you start this side case, everything else will be put on hold until you clear it. Proceed? Well, I need to kill time. Yeah, sure thing. After all, I am the MRC's outside counselor. Thank you so much. So, this is about my classmate. Actually, I should go get him now. Be right back. Nice to meet you. I'm Hisayoshi Shimada, a second year. I'm Yagami, the MRC's advisor. Nice to meet you. So, what exactly do you need help with? I feel like I need to try it again. So, what exactly do you need help with? Well, Yagami-san, do you believe in things like curses? I'm sorry, what? Just a preface. This case is going to sound either mysterious or ridiculous, depending on your answer. I know it's going to sound crazy, but please, you have to believe me. Just tell me what's going on first. Then we'll see how it ranks with all the crazy things I've heard. Curse of the Amasawa family heirloom. Okay, about the case request. Would you mind starting us off, Shimada-kun? So, it's about this lucky cat I have at home. A lucky cat? You mean one of those statues of a cat having, excuse me, try it again. You mean one of those statues of a cat waving its paw? Or like an actual cat? The former, yes. They're said to bring good fortune, so you can spot them in all sorts of businesses. There are quite a few kinds. Try it again. There are quite a few kinds. Most of them are said to bring good luck, but black lucky cats are supposed to... Let me try it again. But black lucky cats are supposed to ward off bad luck in particular. Didn't know they got that specific. The thing is, my lucky cat doesn't do any of that. It doesn't bring money or good luck. It just attracts tragedies. Tragedies. Here, this is it. Looks dirty. Looks pretty old. My dad bought it from an antique dealer friend of his. Usually they're expensive. Excuse me, let me try that again. Usually they're really expensive, especially the pre-war ones like this. But my dad's friend warned him at the time, this cat brings more bad luck than good. Yeesh. So, why'd your dad buy the thing if it's supposed to be cursed? He collects all sorts of rarities, especially the stuff with interesting stories. He goes nuts for those. Sounds like, an interesting guy. But yeah, a lucky cat that brings more bad luck than good? I admit that's an intriguing hook. And, Yakami-san, the curse or whatever it is, evidence is starting to pile up, making it seem real. Ever since acquiring that statue, the Shimadas have been through one ordeal after another. Like what? The unlucky cat. Like some pretty scary stuff. My dad got a really high fever all of a sudden and was touch and go for a bit. Our house caught on fire too. Wow. Potential arson and serious illness. You weren't kidding. That's scary stuff. And my grades keep slipping ever since Dad bought the thing. I'd never dropped down below 10th place before this. Okay, let me try it again. And my grades keep slipping ever since Dad bought the thing. I'd never drop below 10th place before this. Is that really the statue's fault, though? Well, you sure can't blame me for the ghost. One woke my dad up in the middle of the night, standing right there next to his bed. Ghosted? He was dressed like an old-timey soldier and totally pale. Just stood there like he was at... excuse me, let me try it again. Just stood there like he was at attention. But he kept moaning, "Give me back my cat." My dad thought he was dreaming, so he rolled over and went back to sleep. So, was it just a dream?
Yeah.
I don't know. But the next day, that's when he started feeling awful. It's like it's like he'd been cursed or something. I see. Well, that would be unsettling, even if it was just a string of coincidences. My dad's still not out of the woods now that he's healthy either. He almost got run over by a car a couple days ago. It's still going on. This isn't really sounding like coincidence anymore, but I don't know what it could be. At this point, it's probably safe to consider... Excuse me. Try this again. At this point, it's probably safe to consider further misfortune inevitable that may help us determine the cause before any I'm trying to read too quickly. That may help us determine the cause before any irreversible damage is done. I feel like I need to reread this entire thing again. At this point, it's probably safe to consider further misfortune inevitable that may help us determine the cause before any irreversible damage is done. I'm telling you, it's the cat. The question, why even keep it? Here's the question, if you're also creeped out by it, why don't you just throw it out? Oh, it's my dad. He refuses to get rid of it. He says the previous owner was this famous author who met his demise because of the statue. So, the statue was cursed even back then? Yeah. My dad said the guy... Excuse me. Try it again. My dad said the guy died when he hit his head on it. Oof. That is quite the story. Apparently, his whole fan base is obsessed with the statue. That's why it's considered really... excuse me. Try it again. That's why it's considered really valuable, despite the curse. Who's the author, by the way? Well, Kitan Amasawa. He was a mystery novelist, and my grandfather. What? Your grandfather? Oh, and you said hitting his head on the statue. Kitan Amasawa. was the actual cat that you know.
ええ
Well, only if this is truly the exact same statue my grandfather owned. So you don't know if this is actually the same one?
実は
Well, my grandfather has been missing ever since he passed away. About 7 years now? Or about 7 years now? Shortly after he died, my grandmother pawned it off. She always thought it was rather creepy.
なるほど。
I see. Can you tell from this picture if it's the same one as your grandfather's? God, let me try that again. I see. Can you tell from this picture if it's the same one as your grandfather's? It's hard to tell from just a photo. This was also 7 years ago. I see. But I do remember that the cat was cursed even back then. My grandfather was somewhat of a rarities collector himself. Of course, he jumped at the chance of owning a one-of-a-kind, unlucky cat. Keita Amasawa was famous for his somewhat bizarre tales of mystery. I can definitely imagine him wanting a statue like this. My grandfather was quite taken with it. He bragged about it quite a bit when I was little. But I'm sure he never imagined his life ending because of his unlucky cat. I guess that's it. A lucky cat took the life of Amasawa's grandfather 7 years ago, and now it's back, wreaking havoc for another family. Yakami-san, I'm not one to believe in the supernatural. All mysteries must be approached rationally, no matter how unusually they present themselves. That's what I firmly believe. Because logic is always found at the true core of any mystery. Right.
ですが
But that's also why my grandfather's unexplained death has stuck with me for the past 7 years. I assume the police ruled it as... I assume the police ruled it was accidental, right? If that's the case, it kind of sounds pretty explained. No, actually. On the night my grandfather passed away, I also experienced a strange event. One that has no rational explanation and could only be considered a supernatural phenomenon. Really? What happened? I'm sorry. I'm not sure how to explain it. Let's just focus on finding out if this is actually the same cat or not first.
わかった。
Sure, we can do that. Rare for Amasawa to not have the words. But this could be the actual statue that took her grandfather's life. I can see why it'd be so tough to talk about it. Yakami-san, I'm getting to the bottom of this case, one way or another. If something's causing all the tragedies around this cat, there's a good chance more will occur. I don't want anything as awful as what happened to my grandfather to happen to anyone in the Shimada family. Makes sense to me. After all, you're all about preventing incidents before they take place.
はい
Right. It's not only that. This case is personal. Amasawa.
八神さん
So, Yagami-san, would you please help me get to the bottom of this?
ああ、
Yeah, of course. The MRC's advisors got your back.
ありがとうございます
Thank you so much. Well, to start with the investigation, first things first, I'd like to see the statue in person.
ええ
Good idea. Shimada-kun, do you think your father would mind showing it to us?
そう
Oh yeah, I bet he'd be over the moon to have one of Keita Namasawa's descendants confirm his statue's the real deal. I'll give him a call now. He says, yeah, he'd love to meet you guys, in fact. Good to hear. Where should we meet him? I asked him to meet us at a cafe near the station. Plage? It'll be faster than getting... Try it again. It'll be faster than getting him signed in at the school's reception and everything. Is that okay? Yes, that's fine. I would have felt bad asking him to come all the way here anyway. Well, I'll make my way to the cafe now. Let's meet out front.
八神さん
See you soon, Yagami-san. So straight to the cafe.
八神さんは普段から尾行されるんですか
まあ仕事だからな。
ターゲットに気づかれないコツは何でしょう私は気づかれちゃうことが多いんです
いや、なんでただの高校生が尾行する機会があるんだよ。
事件の匂いを嗅ぎつけるとつい
相手がどんなやつかわからないし危険だろ
いやしかし事件が発生する前に防げれば御の字ですし
う。いや、お前が事件に巻き込まれるぞ。
その視点はなかったです
行かれますか？
Cabs? Yeah, no cabs. Let's see. Cafe's all the way over here.
にしても天沢のおじいさんが有名なミステリ作家だったとはな。
意外ですか？
いや、むしろ納得。この祖父にしてこの孫ありだな。
そう言われるとプレッシャーです。
天沢北の孫として恥ずかしくない人間にならないと。
そのためにはやはりあまたの事件に関わり、探偵としての勘を。
無駄に事件に首突っ込んで恥さらすとまずいんじゃない？天沢北の孫としてはさ。
我慢をすると好奇心がうずく。謎をかぎつけると天沢北の血が騒ぐんです。
厄介なものを受け継いじまったな。
More thugs in that direction. Up. Pick that up. Examine. Dropped item. Someone might have dropped this. Okay, lost items. Try to seek out the owner of any lost items you find. They'll most likely be nearby, looking concerned. Reunite them with their belongings, and you may earn more. Excuse me, and you may earn more than good karma. Looks like it's that guy right there. Just I think, right? Excuse me, I think you dropped this. Ah, my watch. Thank you. I'm pawning this to spend on horse racing. Okay, let me try it again. I'm pawning this to spend on horse racing. Going for those fat stacks. Exquisite screw. Excuse me, exquisite screw. Bugs right here. Just happen to walk in my direction. Arcade as well. What are the odds? White shirt. My ass. Flexible carbon. Here's the cafe. Oh, Yagami-san, Amasawa senpai. Ah, you're Kitan Amasawa sensei's grandchild, right? Yes, nice to meet you. I'm Kyoko Amasawa. Shimada. Mikio Shimada. My sons told me all about you. Or my sons told me about you. Thank you for being such a good senpai to him. I must say, I'm surprised seeing you for the first time. You definitely have Amasawa blood in you. You're like a heroine ripped straight from one of his novels. I can already tell you're not just a I can already tell you're not just a nice face. You're as smart as a web too, aren't you? Oh, really? Come on, Dad, cut it out. Oh, my apologies. And, who's this with you? I'm Takio Yagami, outside counselor for the Mystery Research Club. I'm primarily a detective in Kamurocho. Oh, a genuine detective. This is just getting better. The seasoned private eye, tall in the seedy underbelly of the city, with his wonderkind, right? I don't know how to pronounce that. With his wonderkind teen sidekick. Man, I already want to buy the whole series. Oh, I'm really sorry about my dad. Let's head inside, huh? So for the mystery at hand, may we see the unlucky cat statue? Yes, of course, here. Still looks kind of dirty. So this is it. I brought it to a taping of that TV appraisal show a few days ago. They couldn't determine whether or not it belonged to Kitan Amasawa though. But if it turns out to be the real deal, it's supposed to be worth 2 million yen. What? 2 million yen? I mean, considering its legacy, it's basically the holy grail to his fan base. But still, 2 million. Do you think you could tell if it's actually your grandfather's Amasawa? Please feel free to inspect it. In that case, allow me. Oh, this deep red stain. Is that from when your grandfather? No, it's from when I splashed ketchup on it when I was little. Ketchup? Yeah, I'd been eating a hot dog in his study and got ketchup all over the room. Well, eating may not be accurate, more like swinging it around like a sword. I was really into this historical drama at the time. My grandfather and I, my grandfather and I watched it together. Sounds like you were quite a little hellion as a kid. Or hellline, right? God, I don't think I pronounced that correctly. Sounds like you were quite a little hellline as a kid. But this stain, I don't know if anything else could make it clear to me that this is my grandfather's statue. Woohoo! I knew it. We can get millions for this? Seriously? Wow. Talk about the score of a lifetime. Sorry if this question comes across a bit strange, sir, but I must ask. Does this statue ever make noise? Maybe like a meow? Huh? Does my cat statue meow? What makes you ask? Well, the thing is, on the night my grandfather died 7 years ago, I heard it. This cat, it meowed at me. Are you serious? Amasawa, is this the supernatural phenomenon you referred to before? Yes. Could you give us some more details? Sorry, I know this must be hard. No, I understand. We have to do it for the case. This is the first time I've seen Amasawa like this. Let's see. I guess the supernatural phenomenon first? The meow?
Amasawa.
So you're saying you definitely heard the meow of a cat on the night your grandfather died? Yes, I have no doubt. I believe it was around. I believe it was around 1:30 in the morning. I woke up in the middle of the night to get a glass of water and passed by my grandfather's study. That was when I heard a meowing sound come from the room. Did your grandparents have a pet cat? Or maybe it was a stray outside the window? No, they didn't have any cats, and I definitely would have known if a stray had gotten in. With Ranpo in the yard, no cats could have gotten by without him barking up a storm. And I distinctly remember the sound being loud enough to come from the room, not from outside the house. Creepy. What's even creepier is, I can remember my grandfather telling me more than once. When that cat cries, misfortune comes calling. What? I was given strict orders to never even approach the study if I ever... Let me try it again. I was given strict orders to never approach the study if I ever heard a cat meowing in there. That's why, once I heard that cat, I ran back to my room and hid, terrified. And the next day, my grandfather was. That must have been so hard. If I'd just been brave enough to go in the room instead of running, maybe I could have prevented my grandfather from dying. 7 years ago, you were only about 11, right? Don't blame yourself for being scared. A truly artful detective can solve incidents before they even occur. I wonder if her grandfather's own incident has anything to do with Amasawa taking that saying so seriously. Okay, the incident 7 years ago.
Amasawa.
You said your grandfather's death was ruled an accident. Was there even a slight chance that it was actually a crime? The police came and checked the scene, but they said they couldn't find anything suspicious. Besides, it happened in a locked room. Not only was the door to the study inaccessible, but the crescent locks on all the windows were still secure. Let me try it again. But the crescent locks on all the windows were still secure. A locked room death and a cursed statue. This is sounding more and more like one of Kita and Amasawa's books. What's a crescent lock? They're the most common kind of window lock in homes for a reason. They get the job done. I doubt the windows were a point of entry for anyone that night. Let me try it again. I doubt the windows were a point of entry for anyone that night. Oh, okay. Since the police didn't see any signs of a break-in, or even a struggle, they really had no recourse but to rule the death an accident. So it's doubtful this was a burglary, So it was doubtful this was a burglar gone wrong. Afterwards, the unlucky cat creeped. Excuse me. Try this again. Afterwards, the unlucky cat creeped out the whole family enough that my grandmother pawned it off. Unsurprisingly, the family lost track of the statue after that, so I never expected to see it again like this. That's all the questions, right? Shimada-san, thank you for going out of your way to help us today. Oh no, it's my pleasure. Did you find any clues? Maybe even a lead now? Unfortunately, I'm not sure. Excuse me. Let me try it again. Unfortunately, I'm not so sure. Oh, Spidey sense tingling. Look out! Yep. What the? Are you okay? I'm so sorry. I guess it wasn't secured all the way. What was that? Or excuse me, was that the unlucky cat? God, let me try that one more time. Was that the unlucky cat? No way. Dad, please. What's it gonna take for you to get rid of the statue? Excuse me. Even I'm starting to get freaked out by this. Well, we should get home. Thanks again for today. Actually, sir. Yes? Would you mind leaving the statue with us for a while? What? Leave it with you? Yes, until we can debunk the curse. Try it again. Yes, until we can debunk the curse. But aren't you worried? This curse is starting to look pretty real deal to me. My grandfather once said curses only blight their believers. Did he now? Yes. He also said you must never succumb to the marvel of mystery. You must keep your wits about you. Despite my age, he imparted his philosophy of mystery solving to me before his death, and I hold the truths he shared with me in the highest regards. As Kitan Amasawa's grandchild, I cannot back down to these strange events and turn away from a genuine mystery. I refuse to believe in this curse, therefore it will have no effect on my pursuit of the truth. But still, not only that, this is a mystery that needs solving by an Amasawa. Oh, Amasawa-san. When I heard that meow 7 years ago, I ran from the truth, and the result was absolutely horrible. I will never make the same mistake again. Okay, if that's the case, I'll leave it with you. Please find a way to break the curse before something bad happens again. Thank you so much, sir. Do you need evidence? By the way, I heard that you bought the statue from a friend who runs a second-hand shop. Which one would that be? Ibisu Pawn in Ijinsho. Ibisu Pawn. Got it. I'll go speak with him now. Thanks again. Let me try that again. I'll go speak with him now. Thanks again. Amasawa's really into this case. Guess I shouldn't be surprised, considering, well, I should step up my advising efforts for her on this one. Just quickly pause. Hold on. Here we go. Hello. Is this a bad time? I'm from the Yagami Detective Agency, Takayuki Yagami. We'd like to ask you a few questions. Oh, a detective. I'm his assistant, Kyoko Amasawa. You're his assistant? A high schooler? Is there a problem?
Yeah.
No, not particularly. What is it you wanted to ask? We're looking into this lucky cat statue from Mikio Shimada-san. He says he knows you. Ah, this is for Shimada-san. Would you mind if I ask, how did you first come to acquire the statue? This pawnbroker friend of mine closed up his shop, so I bought his remaining inventory. He couldn't vouch for the statue's authenticity. Really just messing this up. He couldn't vouch for the statue's authenticity, though. Well, we know it's the real thing now, but maybe we oughtn't fill him in on that. Might make a mess of things. You don't happen to know who sold the cat to your friend originally, do you? Nah, sorry. He told me it'd been passed around a bunch before it ended up in his shop, but he didn't know any specifics, probably why he couldn't authenticate the thing. I see. Thanks anyway. Oh, one last question. This might sound odd, but when you still had the statue in the shop... God, let me try it again. But when you still had the statue in the shop, did anything strange ever happen here?
Eh?
Strange, huh? You mean the curse? Nah, I don't buy into that stuff. Nothing ever happened here to make me change my mind either. Nothing at all? You're sure? Nope. The guy I got the statue from never mentioned any sort of... excuse me. The guy I got the statue from never mentioned any of the sort. Try it again. The guy I got the statue from never mentioned any of the sort, although I suppose he might have just not wanted to sound crazy. Oh, I see. Yagami-san. Did that at the same time. Yagami-san, does this mean the so-called curse didn't begin until Shimada-kun's father acquired the statue? Yeah, sounds like it anyway. Oh, smoke. What's that? Or excuse me, what's smoke? Yagami-san, it's on fire. Oh, really? Get the fire extinguisher. Yeah, we got the fire out right away, but we seriously have no idea where it came from. Just whoosh out of nowhere. Phew, I'm glad that didn't get any worse. Yagami-san, what do you think started that fire? I have to say, the number of incidents around this cat is getting serious. God, let me try it again. I have to say, the number of incidents around this cat is getting ridiculous. I don't think this is coincidence at all anymore. Hang on, do you smell something? Gasoline. Gas. That would mean... excuse me. Try it again. That would mean there's a chance that the fire earlier was actually arson. Agreed. Yagami-san, what do you say we search the scene real quick? Let me try it again. What do you say we search the scene really quick before the police get here? Yeah, let's check and observe for any traces in the area. Keep sharp for... excuse me, let me try it again. Keep sharp for anything like gasoline trails or containers. Time to go detective mode. Oh, pushing me. Oh, there's a stain right there. What's this? Let me try it again. What's this? Something was dripping here. I'd wager it's gasoline based on the color and smell. Yeah, it goes all the way to the alley. Let's see if we can track it. Okay, all the way to the alley. We still need to be in search mode. We said alley. I was looking in this direction right here. Oh, no, it's a little tight squeeze right there. Okay, let me go back to the store. He said alley. Droplets, right? The droplet right there. Plastic bottle. A plastic bottle inside. More gasoline smell. Does this mean? Yep, the fire at the pawn shop was actually arson. But who's the culprit and why? No idea, but let's fill in the police and the guy at the shop on what we found first.